to another episode of the A-List Music Club. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Troop. And of course, with me as always are Dominic and John. How's it going tonight, guys?
Good.
All right. And, as good as it was a few minutes ago in our Evil Dead review. So, this is a show, of course, where each one of us picks a different album each week for the others to listen to. So this time it was Dominic's choice. So tell us a little bit about what you picked.
I picked I believe it was either 1976 or 1977 album by my favorite band, Thin Lizzy. And I think this is my favorite album by them, called Johnny the Fox. It features the classic Lizzy lineup of Phil Lynott, Scott Gorham, Brian Robertson, and Brian Downey. So, yep, that's them.
Is this their first album?
Oh, no.
No, this is like their sixth.
Oh, wow.
Or seventh, yeah. Yeah.
Seventh.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the follow-up to their big album, Jailbreak.
Oh, okay. So this was after that. Okay.
Yeah, one had Boys Are Back in Town, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no need for me to review this. Like I said, it's my favorite album by my favorite band. So, I'm going to love it. I'm more interested to hear what you guys thought about it.
Well, like I said, I only know 3 or 4 Thin Lizzy songs, the ones you hear on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard a whole album. I don't know a whole lot about them, to be honest with you, other than, a black guy that sings and plays bass is kind of their, it's really what they're known for, I guess. I listened to this album like twice, and it's really good. Good pick, Dom. Like, I was digging it. In fact, the first time I heard Borderline, I played it again.
Yeah, that's got one of the greatest lines. 7 beers and still sober. It's time to turn to something stronger. Great.
Yeah, I was impressed.
You like Borderline, eh? That's a great song.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of their songwriting because Boys Are Back in Town is, kind of poppy. Yeah. That's all I really know. But his songwriting is excellent. And I didn't realize they were this hard rocking. Like, there's only like 2 songs I didn't like. The rest I really enjoyed.
Which songs didn't you like?
I didn't care for Fool's Gold.
Oh, see, I like that song.
I mean, I like the music more than I really like the lyrics and the song. And the last one, the Boogie Woogie Dance, that's a throwaway.
I told Wesley that's probably my least favorite Thin Lizzy song.
Yeah, it just seems like they needed one more song for the album and just sort of knock that out in a minute. Like, there's just nothing to it. I did like the other slow one. Actually, all 3 of the slow ones I liked.
Yeah. Sweet Marie, Old Flame.
Old Flame I like. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think Massacre, I love the music to it, the groove.
Yeah.
Massacre, that's really good.
My 2 favorite songs off that album are Johnny and Johnny the Fox meets Jimmy the Weed. Because Johnny the Fox, they both have that gritty street feel to them.
The guitar playing is amazing. Both these guys are really talented. Very good. Yep. I did a little bit of research. It says it was supposed to be a concept album. That's why there's Johnny and Johnny the Fox. But along the way, he sort of lost the point of it and turned into just a regular album.
Right, because if you notice in Fool's Gold, they say in steps the fox to thunderous applause is one of the lines in Fool's Gold.
Yeah.
So,
like half the album sort of fits the concept, the rest are just regular songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, made me a fan now. I might check out some more stuff by them.
I'll tell you what, the next album you should check out is an album called Bad Reputation. And this is the album right after this one, and you can tell how the production value has changed. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot more. It's a lot slicker, but it's still got, it's still great. I mean, there's just some really good tunes on.
I feel bad. Like this already went to number 52 in the charts. Had no hits in America. It just sort of everyone who got on with Boys Are Back in Town just jumped right back off, and unfortunately,
yeah.
in England they were still big, and Ireland, of course, but in
all
America,
over the world, You should see them playing. I've got concert videos of them playing in Germany for like 70, 80,000 people, and they played on the steps of the Sydney Opera House. There was like 150,000 people.
Yeah, they were huge everywhere.
Huge, and just never broke in the U.S.
Yeah, they're headliners in the rest of the world. In America, they were opening up for other people.
Well, not necessarily. I saw them. Listen to this one. I saw AC/DC open for Thin Lizzy.
Oh.
At the Royal Oak Music Theater in 1977 or 78. It had to be 78 because it was just after the Chinatown album.
Well, Chinatown came out in 1980.
No, then it was before that. It was before Chinatown then. Yeah, it was definitely before Chinatown. 70, 78, 79. I don't remember. But it was with Bon Scott, the lead singer, was singing for AC/DC, and they got booed off the stage. AC/DC did.
Wow.
Yeah. Angus Young does.
From everything I've read, and Don't Believe a Word is sort of the hit off this album among fans.
Right.
That's sort of on my greatest hits. That's the only song for this album that's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else has 3 or 4 songs. They have one from Johnny the Fox. Don't Believe a Word.
Yeah.
Which is a good song.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a shame these guys weren't bigger.
Yeah, and it was a shame that Phil Lynott died in 1986, I believe it was.
Yeah, he was like 36 too. He was young.
Heroin addiction. I don't know if you know this, but his mother is named Philomena. We heard to call her Phyllis.
Yeah, she died last year, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. I was very broken up because we actually got to know each other. I've spoken to her a few times on the phone. She sent us Christmas cards. She sent us me a copy of her book called My Boy, signed to me and everything like that. Yeah, I talked to her a few times on the phone.
Wow.
Very wonderful, wonderful woman. And she said that when he was in the hospital dying, they went in, she said, you should have saw his feet. His feet were all like needle marks and like abscesses from needle marks and everything like that, because he would inject into his feet.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah.
From some of the stuff I read, it was a lot of the struggles of them fueled that. He never could get. Why can't we break in America? Why can't we
They had a lot of bad luck too. They had, because they were supposed to be going on tour, and then Brian Robertson, the one guitar player, got into a bar fight, sliced up his hand really bad.
Yeah.
They had to cancel dates. They were supposed to open for Queen at that tour.
It says Rainbow here.
Well, I don't remember. I don't remember.
It was open for Rainbow. Then after his hand healed, they toured the U.S. with Queen.
Okay.
And Gary Moore replaced Robertson.
Yeah. Gary Moore is probably one of the best that ever lived. You got to check out a song off the Black Rose album. It's called Rosian Dub. It's the Black Rose. You want to hear some? They're very Thin Lizzy, Phil Knott's from Ireland. They've got a lot of Irish flavor to their music in a lot of things. And this one you wouldn't believe. They got their guitars sounding almost like bagpipes in this one. Awesome.
Wow. I like that. Even though, I mean, it's Phil's band, but
Oh yeah.
it's not like a bass dominated album. You know, the
No.
guitars are, he's just a part of the band. The
Yeah,
guitars.
he's a good, really good bass player, but he wasn't a great bass player. He wasn't like Geddy Lee or anything like that,
Yeah.
or Flea or something like that. But he he always gave credit to the bandmates. He really did, even though he wrote most of the songs. And I think Brian Downey is the most underrated drummer of all time. You should hear some of the stuff he can do. That guy is just amazing.
I like his singing's good too. It's soulful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can picture him singing like R&B songs that would sound just as good. You know?
Yeah.
He's not screaming like some of these hard rock guys do, you know. It's very melodic and
yeah.
And the songwriting's great. I didn't realize he was so good a songwriter.
Yeah, he had a couple books out of poetry.
Oh, okay.
Like that, yeah.
How was his band after this? Are they any good?
Grand Slam?
Yeah.
They were okay.
Same kind of music?
Same kind of music, only more keyboards. There's keyboards in it and stuff like that. Good band. I just think that he was on his downward spiral when Grand Slam.
Oh.
You know.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard anything by them, so.
He had 2 solo albums out. The only one I could find on Apple Music is the Philip Lynott album. But there was another one called Solo in Soho. And good stuff. I mean, very different. He was a huge Elvis fan. And one of the songs off his first Solo in Soho album was called The King's Hall. It's about Elvis. And he's got Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits playing guitar on that song. And it sounds like Mark Knopfler. It sounds like a great song. It really does. Very cool. Okay, Cheesy Boy, what do you think?
I really liked it. I knew, like John, I knew a handful of Thin Lizzy songs. I discovered them through the advertising from Toy Story as a child. So, because they played The Boys Are Back in Town. I didn't really know any of these songs, going in, but I really enjoyed them. It's a quick listen that doesn't overstay its welcome, which is nice. I thought Johnny is an awesome opener to the album. It's got a great riff. Borderline, a great slower song. Definitely hits you in the feels, as they say. Fool's Gold, I thought, had an interesting opening with a narration.
The spoken word, yeah.
Yeah. I think that was supposed to fit whatever concept he was trying for, yeah.
Right, yeah. So it was interesting that it just sort of came out of nowhere. You're like, okay, then. But I like the rest of the song. Johnny the Fox meets Jimmy the Weed. I knew some of this one from Dominic quoting it over the years. I think it's a cool sound. It reminded me a lot of Jimi Hendrix, which Dominic said he was a big fan of his too. Old Flame I liked, another cool ballad with an awesome guitar solo. I have really liked the music in Massacre. Yeah. Sweet Marie had an interesting sound. And, Boogie Woogie Dance, I liked the rhymes. I thought that was kind of funny. Like in France, they got a dance, I'm like,
in Brazil, they've got a pill.
Yeah.
Take one too many, you'll feel quite ill.
And yeah, like the few songs that we said are skippable aren't bad, but they're just like, whatever. But yeah, they're still good, I think. But yeah, I enjoyed this album a lot more than I expected to.
Yeah. Just a shame that America never discovered
Right,
it.
I
right,
know. Yeah.
exactly. John,
Right.
you got to start listening to them, because I'll tell you what. Um, the first few albums of theirs, it's completely different than what this stuff is.
That's what I've heard. Skip
Yeah,
everything up until like fighting.
well, Nightlife is an okay album. That's got some good tunes on there. Fighting, then there's Jailbreak, then there's Johnny the Fox. Then I think it's, what was the one after it? Was it Chinatown?
Hold on.
I thought you said Bad Reputation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bad Reputation, then Chinatown, I believe.
Black Rose.
Black Rose before Chinatown.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Black
Because
Rose is 79, Chinatown's 80.
yeah, yeah. Black Rose, Chinatown. Then there's there's Thunder and Lightning. There's Renegade. There's
Renegade, then
Wow.
Thunder and Lightning. Yep. Those are the
They
last
have a
two.
lot of
Yeah.
CDs.
In 1983, I didn't think they even lasted into the 80s.
yeah.
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 And the last two or the last album, Thunder and Lightning, they got a little bit even harder rock, where they started. One of the guitar players in the band at this time was a guy by the name of John Sykes, and he played guitar for
He
White.
went on to Whitesnake. Yeah.
And so it's got a little bit more of the Eddie Van Halen-ish type solos and things like that. So
Everything I've read, I watched some YouTube videos and they said Renegade is a lot of keyboards.
yeah, Renegade's okay. There's some good songs. Angel of Death is on that album, and that is just an incredible song.
Yeah, they said it's way too many keyboards, and by then he was deep into it, and it was sort of hard to get a good performance out of him, and he wasn't writing the same songs, and he was
Right.
yeah, it was the downward spiral, like you said. He was just
Yeah.
shame.
All right. Who's gonna start the rate? I'll start the ratings. Or were you done, Wesley?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start the ratings. My favorite album by my favorite band, and when I mean my favorite album, it's only by just whiskers over a few of their other albums. Just like by a whisker. I give it a 10. It's to me, it's just like I said, my favorite band, my favorite album.
A lot of countdowns that I've seen online, Jailbreak is everyone's number one.
Jailbreak's a really good album.
It's got the hit. I mean, I understand,
Yeah.
I give it like an 8. Good solid 8. It's good.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think, Wesley?
I'm gonna go 8 again. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely listen to other ones too.
John, your homework assignment for next week is listen to Bad Reputation.
On top of the other pick and the movie, and
and I have a kid, I have to work. Yeah, I'll find time. I was gonna start listening to them. Not those first couple I heard are pretty bad. The first 3.
Well, there's some good songs on them, but they're it's a lot different. They changed quite a bit.
Yeah, they weren't. So I heard they're not really a hard rock band at that point.
No, they're not. Now they had another big hit off one of those first albums, Whiskey in the Jar.
Yeah, which I know.
Yeah, that was a pretty big hit for them. I know overseas. I don't know about much here. Metallica, their Garage Incorporated album, they did a version of Whiskey in the Jar.
Yeah, that's how I know that song.
James Hetfield and everything. James Hetfield loves Thin Lizzy.
I looked online. A lot of musicians like this band. They're like a musician kind of band,
Yeah, I
like them. You like them. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Henry Rollins?
Yes.
Okay, so years ago, he was playing in Detroit, and we were going to see him, but he was doing a thing at the record store signing autographs and stuff. Okay. So I went there with me and my couple buddies, and I had a Thin Lizzy pin on my jean jacket. And I went up to him and he goes, Thin Lizzy, I love Thin Lizzy. He goes, I got all their stuff in my tour bus, and we listened to him constantly. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
But they had 3 songs that charted in America. 3.
Yeah.
Boys Are Back in Town. Boys Are Back in Town went to 12. Jailbreak didn't chart.
Oh.
Cowboy Song went to 77.
Okay.
And Do Anything You Want To went to 81. That is all they have.
Mm-hmm.
3 songs. Not even Dancing in the Moonlight. I hear that on the radio.
Yeah, I was surprised that one wasn't. Yeah, Phil was always bitter about never making it in America.
Yeah, it's sad. From what I read, it sort of ate at him a little bit. Like,
yeah,
the rest of the world loves us, and we can't get arrested in America. Like, it's a shame.
Right. Well, I was lucky enough to see him twice, so
they're still around.
Yeah.
Who's the lead singer?
I don't know.
John
I think the drummer is the only original left. It's a whole new band.
Yeah. There
sort of like, what's the point?
There's another band out there called Black Star Riders. Okay. And Scott Gorham from Thin Lizzy is a member of that band. And they got a guy who sounds exactly like Phil Lynott. They are writing songs just like how Phil Lynott would have written a lot of them. They sound, it's almost, some of it sounds like new Thin Lizzy albums. Really, it's kind of cool. Some of the songs are so, but some of them are really good.
Yeah, they will not do any more studio albums as Thin Lizzy without Phil. They perform live as Thin Lizzy, but they will not do any more albums.
Right.
They do albums as Black Star Riders. Yeah. So they have 6 guys in the band. Ricky Warwick is the singer.
Yep.
And Scott Gorham is the only sort of original left.
Yep.
3 guitar players. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you picking there, Wesley? I want to go watch.
Yes. So, huh?
I want to go watch hockey.
So this time it's my turn to pick, and this was a CD that didn't really leave my CD player in the early 2000s. I love this CD. We're gonna see if it still holds up, and that's gonna be Blink 182, "Enema of the State."
Cool.
Oh my goodness. What's my age again?
Yep. All the small things.
Wes, yes. Justin, that we do the podcast with, that's his like all-time favorite band.
Really?
Blink 182.
Oh, he'll like that.
So give a heads up that was, Give a heads up that was your pick.
All right. Well, speaking of the podcast, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about it, John?
All right. We Like Wrestling Podcast. A weekly podcast, 4 guys sitting around talking about wrestling. We have a tournament coming up. We have pay-per-view reviews that we do. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever podcasts are found. We Like Wrestling Podcast.
All right. And of course, for me, you can subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTroopAlist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and Instagram @WesAlist. Until next time, Troop out.